Welcome to Homeschool is a Work of Heart. I'm Melissa Webb, and after years in the classroom and years homeschooling and supporting those in home education, and even more years creating curriculum for families like yours, I have learned this. Homeschooling isn't about perfection. It is about purpose. And this podcast is here to encourage you, to guide you, and to remind you that what you're doing truly matters. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. So it was almost exactly 2 years ago to the date that I am recording this, that I put out a podcast, episode 30, called Leave Busyness to the Bees. And since then, I have come back around, and because this idea of doing a time audit appealed to so many people, I've created one for you. How cool is that? I think you're going to love this. So there's going to be a downloadable Google Sheet that you can get for free that is broken down for you. Now, this week I decided I would play back that episode because I do think there are some really valuable things that I shared that it wouldn't hurt for all of us to hear again. Good thoughts that we might want to take captive, some ways we want to think about busyness. But at the end, you will hear me discuss some ways you can do a time audit. And since then, I have created one especially for you. So I hope you're excited. Now, when you download this Google Sheet, which as I mentioned, totally free, I am here to be a support to you. I want to give you tools that save you time, that open your mind and allow you to actually see what is happening in your life. Sometimes we do have so much going on that we don't take the time to think about these things. So I'm here to encourage you to do that, to think about these things. So in this Google Sheet, you'll find that not only will you get the sheet, you'll get some directions, and there will even be a video that will go over an example of how you can fill it out. Now, you can make this completely on your own. However, the one that I have created is kind of cool, I have to say, because not only are the time blocks already laid out for day 1 and day 2 and day 3, and it's color coded, I also, under each of the columns, have given you drop downs. So you don't have to type anything in. You can just go to that particular time of your day and plop in what is it you're doing in that half-hour time space. Were you getting some housework done? Were you driving, running errands? Were you TV scrolling and doing entertainment? You get to pick from a drop down. As well, there's an additional column that I thought could be really eye-opening. And it's what category would your activity fall into? Is it a personal care category, a home management category? Maybe it falls under homeschool and learning or work, kind of admin stuff like taking calls, making calls, checking emails. Maybe it's relational, or maybe it's that entertainment and downtime that we need. So again, I want you to consider going ahead and downloading this really cool project that I have called the 3-Day Time Truth Project. And I will link it if for some reason it's not working or time has passed and you're wondering if it's still available. You can always reach out. I really think this is going to be so eye-opening for so many of us, because at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, where is my time going? And are you taking care of you? Are you over-functioning in some way? Maybe in the house, maybe in the yard. Is homeschool really the time monster that you have been saying it is? Doing a time audit is going to show you. It's going to show you where time is leaking out of your life. And it's going to ensure that you're protecting relationships. It will also point out if some distractions are creeping in places that you didn't even recognize. So Enjoy this episode, but please, by all means, before you go, head over to the show notes or check the Friday email that this came with, or reach out to me on the socials and get your copy of the 3-Day Time Truth Project. I hope you really enjoy it. Right on. Hello, homeschoolers, and welcome back. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm so glad you found our little corner of the internet, and I'm glad you're giving this a shot. And if you're coming back multiple times, thank you so much for that too. I will tell you that I have friends who literally laugh at my Google Calendar. I still even keep a paper calendar, a calendar in the kitchen. I keep track of everything. My calendar is very full, sure, with important dates or appointments, but all the things. I put all the things that I need to do, the regular things, the things that maybe happen on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. If it's important to my life, I put it on my calendar. And this way, I know I always have time to do what's important. When I make a place for it and it has a space, I juggle a lot in my life. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a teacher, I run a business, I host this podcast. There was a time in my life when I just threw those words, I'm just so busy. I mean, I threw them around like confetti. And I will tell you, I think our whole society has been doing this for decades. This isn't a new thing. It's been around for quite some time. And so much so, I mean, we even have common idioms, right? Are you familiar with idioms? I teach idioms in writing all the time. I love idioms. They're phrases or sayings that the meanings really cannot be deduced by the words. They're figurative forms of language. They're not literal. A very common one around busyness is like, oh my gosh, I am just busy as a bee. We all know that just means you've got a lot going on. That's another one. I've got a lot on my plate right now. Somebody who's just learning the English language hears idioms and they get so confused. What's on your plate? But we know, as people who are used to the English language and these common idioms, we know that that just means I'm super busy. Or how about this one? I'm up to my neck in laundry, or whatever the busy thing is. And I've actually heard that one, I'm up to my eyeballs, I'm up to my ears. Apparently, as long as it's the neck or above, anything goes. Which kind of takes me to the next one, like I'm in over my head. I'm swamped. I'm in the thick of things. Look at all the idioms we've created around being so busy. But if we're going to be honest, and let's be honest, most of us use those 4 little words, I'm just so busy, to really make an excuse. It could be we want to decline an invitation to an event, a party, a gathering, whatever. Maybe we say it because we want to get out of a commitment, like, oh, I know I said I was going to do that. I'm just so busy. Or sometimes I'm guilty of this too. It's a justification. Like, well, I didn't get this done. I'm just so busy. Or maybe there's just something else I'd rather do instead. So I just said, I'm so busy, I can't do that. I'm going to do this. I had read a Harvard Business School article where back in 2019, they recruited 300 adults and they considered a scenario. And they were asked, imagine that you invited a friend to go out to dinner with you and the friend declined. And so there were these 3 situations. So one, a person said, I would love to, but I'm going to be honest, I just don't have the money this month. A second excuse was, I'd love to, I'm just so busy, I don't have the time. And the other one was just no excuse, just I'm just so busy. No reason why they're busy, even just I'm just so busy. Well, interestingly enough, not so surprising, the participants actually said that the money excuse was the least hurtful reason for being declined. Like it felt like it was the most trustworthy and honest, but that the other excuses felt like other things were more important than time with them to go out to dinner. And that's interesting. We want to think about our words and the words that we say to others and what it might or how it could impact them. So words are powerful. We know that. I'm just curious, like, do you use the phrase, I'm just so busy? Like, have you even noticed lately if you're using it? Some of you are like, oh my gosh, I use it on a daily basis. And others of you are like, I don't know if I use it. Well, I want you to pay attention for sure. I will tell you as a teacher, and this is not going to surprise you, I hear, oh, I've just been so busy, or we've just been so busy. Oh, we just haven't had time. I hear this on probably a daily basis. I definitely hear it multiple times every single week. And I'm not throwing judgment here. I've used it countless times. But years ago, I stopped using it. I do not say, I'm so busy, I'm too busy. I make a decision to not use those words. I don't like them. And I will explain to you a little bit about why and my thoughts around it, and just see how this lands for you. See if this is something that you might want to consider. Maybe you might be like, nope, I love saying it and I don't mind saying it. Okay, I'm not here to change you, but I'm just here to offer some thoughts. When I stopped, it was actually because of my husband. We had just started this business and I was really overwhelmed at the time. We still had a lot going on. Our youngest was in high school, and our oldest, I think, actually was a senior. I'm trying to go back like to what was going on at the time. I just know there was a lot going on, and it was my husband who had wanted us to get away for the weekend, just like a one-nighter. And he said, hey, can we do this? But I was like, honey, I'm just so busy. And he literally passed me a slip of paper and he said, can you write down everything you have to do between now and Friday? Because I want to take you away on Saturday, keep you Saturday night. We'll come back Sunday after brunch. I just want time with you. His intention at the time was to help me get the things done so that he could be like, okay, I'll help you. Now we can get away. But what happened was unexpected. It was truly eye-opening for me. I mean, I just started writing the things down. Like, I need to go grocery shopping. Adam has a mountain biking event. I need to get some things to make our, protein bites, and I need to get those made. I don't remember everything that I had on the list, but it was a lot. I probably had to like call a repair company to fix the dryer and get my nephew's gift mailed in time and get my laundry done. There were things that needed to get done. And I wrote a nice long list of, I don't know, maybe 10 things. And then he's like, great. Okay, now how long will it take you to get each of those things done? And I was like, I don't know exactly. He's like, just ballpark it. Just give me a general idea. Are we talking 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours? Okay, so I start doing that. And this was like early on in the week. It's like a Monday or a Tuesday. And I had till Friday. And what I realized as I'm looking at it is I'm like, oh my gosh, I have more than enough time. I have plenty of time. I actually have time to spare. We do have time, honey, to do our Saturday to Sunday getaway. And here's what I realized from it. This is just my thought. But when we let our to-do items spin in our heads, they go around and around and around multiple times until that thing gets done. Your brain's trying to be a helper. It's like, don't forget you've got laundry in the dryer. Don't forget you've got laundry in the dryer. Don't forget you've got laundry in the dryer. It feels like I have 3 things to do, when in fact that's one thing. I need to go fold what's in the laundry. I believe it can make 10 items feel like we have 100 items. Now, who's not going to get overwhelmed with 100 items? But if you make your list, it's not 100 items. I think you might be surprised. It's like 10 items. So it was at that point I started researching how to calendar, how to do calendaring better. Is that a word? I don't know. I may have just made it up. But this is what I do. Every Sunday afternoon, early evening, I get on my calendar. Some things are just set in stone, like I do these things every day, but then I always look at what things are coming up, I always make time for me, whether that's reading time, time for coffee with a friend. I always make time for my time, things that I want to do. And then I put in appointments and all the other things. And what I will tell you it has helped me do, I never say I'm too busy or I'm just so busy. I know in my mind, in my heart, there is always time for the most important things. Always time. I don't have to stress. And I share this with my students. I tell my students 99.9% of you could totally schedule 30 minutes every day from 9:30 to 10 a.m., 5 days a week, to work on your writing for 30 measly minutes. But here's the truth, and that's why I really want you to be honest too. They don't want to, right? And here's the thing, when they say that, when they're like, actually, you're right, Mrs. Webb, I do have the time. I don't want to do that with my time. Hey, that's at least 100% honest. That does open up a whole other honest topic. How do you do what you don't want to do? Do you want me to talk about that? I've got strategies for that too. That's a brain hack that you need, because of course your brain doesn't want to do anything that's hard. Your brain at its most basic development, right? When they talk about the primal part of your brain, it wants you just to seek pleasure and have no pain and stay safe. It's just keeping you alive. Let's just sit and do nothing. That's normal, but we have our prefrontal cortex, luckily, that we can hold on to, develop, and with that brain skill, we actually can get so much done, even the things we don't want to do. Let me know if you want me to talk more about that. But what I want to just focus on as we kind of wrap this episode up is that I want you to listen to yourself. And the next time you catch yourself saying, I'm just too busy, I'm so busy, I'm busy as a bee. Leave the busyness to the bees. Don't use that as your excuse. You recognize it. It's maybe a default response, and you can change it. And what's really funny is you'll start to notice, if you are like me, you have friends who even try to give you that excuse. I have some friends, it makes me laugh. They'll say things like, I know you're probably way too busy, Melissa, but I was wondering if you might like to go for a walk, go for a hike, grab lunch, whatever. And I always love to respond, oh, I'm never busy. I'm never busy. I'm scheduled. I'm productive. I get a lot done, but I'm never busy. Busy makes it sound like I don't have time for the things that are important. And I always have time for the things that are important. So if you've never meticulously charted your time, I want you to consider that. Just grab a piece of paper. I mean, if you want to create a Google sheet, you could actually do that. But a piece of paper works too. And just set your reminder on your phone. I want you to do it for 3 days. I believe you're going to be surprised by what you find. And yeah, there are going to be moments where you're genuinely feeling busy. Like there's a deadline you've got to hit. There's an appointment you must keep. Traffic slowing you down, and you get that feeling like, I've got to get there. That's the for real thing. You have responsibilities to fulfill. But here's what I can also promise you. That interspersed between those moments, you have pockets of time that are slipping through the cracks. They are going unnoticed and they are unclaimed. And if you notice them and claim them, you will not only get more done, but you will stop using being busy as an excuse. It doesn't need to be this shield against the discomfort of getting something done that you don't really want to do, or just facing the possibility that you're not using your time as wisely as you could. Let's just be honest. So yes, I am challenging you this week. I am. Why not do a time audit? That's what it's called, a time audit. Do it for 3 days. And I want to know what you discover. Just a little experiment. Do you end up with any aha moments? I want to know. Please share. I love it when you share what's coming out of these episodes for you specifically, you as an individual. I am not too busy to hear from you. I am not too busy to respond back to you. I believe strongly that time is a precious gift, maybe the most precious gift we have here. It's far more important than money. We can make more money. We can't get more time. So spend it wisely. Do it with intention. And let's leave busyness to the bees. We're not too busy for what's really, really important. Right on. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And hey, if you are feeling stretched thin and you would love some support with teaching writing, I offer programs designed to make that part of homeschooling easier and more enjoyable for both you and your child. I also have free resources on my website, so please be sure to check those things out and subscribe to the podcast. You do not have to do this alone. Right on.